Amid the COVID-19 pandemic, people are most likely far more dangerous than food. Whatever food you can get via the least amount of human contact, that most likely is going to be the safest food right now. People are more dangerous than food. Eating out of your pantry and garden would be best, but for most of us who aren't doomsday preppers, that's not a viable long-term meal plan. So in this video, we're going to talk about getting food from a grocery store and getting takeout or delivery food from a restaurant. How to bring in food from the outside world while minimally exposing yourself to the buggies that have brought the restaurant industry and the rest of the world to a near halt.
Like most viruses, they need a host. So they need a living being for it to be a host.
This is Dr. Angela Shaw, a food microbiology and safety professor at Iowa State University.
The actual strain does not like the host of food or a lot of our normal food packaging surfaces like plastics and cardboards.
What Dr. Shaw is saying is consistent with what we're hearing from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and it's also what we're hearing from the more easily alarmed European Food Safety Agency. They're all saying there's no evidence yet of COVID-19 being transmitted through food or food packaging. It's conceivable, it's possible, but the experts as yet are not terribly worried about it. And why not? Here in the United States, for many years now, another virus has been making us sick via food all the time: norovirus.
Norovirus is our number one reason if you were to eat something you would get sick. It's the number one, and it is a fecal oral route. So it's people not washing their hands and then serving you and then you consuming that.
Yeah, pretty gross, right? And it's conceivable that COVID-19 could make its way into your body via the same route. Somebody is sick, they don't wash their hands after doing you-know-what, and they turn around and they serve you some food. The virus doesn't have to live on that food for very long if you turn around and you eat it right away, and it gets into your body. But here's the difference. Norovirus causes a gastrointestinal disease. It attacks the organs of your digestive system. It doesn't attack your other organs. In contrast, COVID-19 causes a respiratory disease.
With this kind of respiratory viruses, the consensus is that the target tissues are in the gut respiratory tract.
This is Dr. Francisco Diez-Gonzalez, director of the Center for Food Safety at the University of Georgia.
It doesn't normally elicit symptoms in other organs, so the assumption is it doesn't really affect other organs when you ingest it.
But Dr. Diaz cautions that's an assumption that's based on very little actual data. Very little research has been finished on COVID-19 yet. It's just too new. Public health experts like him are basing their advice in large measure on what they know about much older viruses that are kind of similar. We know that we don't get sick from eating flu or common cold viruses. You can eat them, won't do anything to you. Common cold virus and COVID-19 are both coronaviruses, so we assume that if you eat coronavirus, it's not going to make you sick. Pretty good assumption, but it's just an assumption right now. One thing we know for sure is that cooking kills COVID-19, just like it kills almost everything else. So Dr. Diaz advises favoring cooked foods generally right now, especially for fresh produce.
If there is any exposed food in a grocery store, it could be vegetables, because they are, first of all, they're set up in ways that probably would be more prone to have any aerosol falling onto them. They are open.
You got to think about the way we know that COVID-19 is definitely being transmitted right now, which is via respiratory droplets. Infected people coughing, sneezing, breathing. A sick person in the grocery store could cough or even just breathe a droplet out that lands over on the carrots. Now let's just say that you eat that carrot raw. Like we said, best guess is ingesting that virus isn't going to do anything to you. The greater risk is you're going to touch the carrot, get the virus on your hands, and then you're going to touch your face, your eyes, or your nose, places where we know coronavirus can get into your respiratory system and make you sick. And this is why the consistent message from public health experts has been 1, keep your distance from people so that you don't inhale their droplets, and 2, wash your hands. Specifically, wash them in plain old hand soap. Soap dissolves the fat membranes that hold the virus together. The virus literally falls apart in soap. So should you do the same to your veggies?
Don't do it. I mean, I've seen all the videos of people using soap. I'm like, soap? Come on, people. Soap is an irritant. It's going to cause you to have vomiting, diarrhea.
The entire conversation that we had just now is a bit of a distraction because, again, what we know is that COVID-19 isn't really foodborne, at least not in practice. It's airborne. It is primarily transmitted person to person. That's why restaurant dining rooms are closed all over the world. The big problem isn't the food, it's us being around each other in close quarters, talking, laughing, carrying on, and yes, inhaling each other's spittle. Likewise, the available evidence suggests that what's really dangerous at the grocery store is not what's on the shelves, it's the other people, the people around you body checking you on their way to get the last pack of toilet paper for God knows what reason, and breathing the same air as you. They're the danger. My main grocery store is doing a terrific job of keeping everybody far apart from each other. They've got markers on the floor in the checkout line showing you where to stand, and they've put up transparent partitions between the clerks and the customers. But depending on how crazy your grocery store is and your individual risk factors, you might want to stay away. And therefore, cooking at home might not necessarily be the safest option for you if it requires that you go out to the store to get groceries. In which case, you need to get food to your house without having much human contact. And one option would be to get your groceries delivered either to your house or into your car.
So me personally, I just picked up my groceries this morning from our local grocery store, and that was a matter of me placing it online. And then when they came out, I popped my trunk, they put it in my car, and I drove home. What happened? I unpacked my groceries in there, immediately washed my hands. I'm good.
And in that scenario, you've avoided any direct human contact. Your remaining risk would be, again, from contaminated droplets, either on the food or on the packaging. There is one study published mid-March in the New England Journal of Medicine where researchers looked to see how long COVID-19 remains viable on various surfaces, including plastic and cardboard. By the way, as you look at this, you're not going to see the word COVID-19. You're going to see SARS-CoV-1 and SARS-CoV-2. SARS-CoV-1 is what scientists are now calling the SARS virus that hit us back in 2003. SARS-CoV-2 is what scientists are now calling COVID-19, or what most of us were calling coronavirus a few months ago. SARS-CoV-2, that's now the official technical name. Anyway, according to these experiments, the virus lasts on cardboard up to a day and up to 3 days on plastic. Sounds like a long time, but it starts to decay exponentially the instant it's deposited on that surface. Therefore, your chances of being infected via those surfaces probably goes down exponentially too as the clock ticks. This is one reason why Dr. Shaw isn't so worried about her grocery bags, and she isn't so worried about takeout or delivery bags either.
Even if the person delivering it has the COVID-19, because literally they would have to, coming up to your door, sneeze on it or like put droplets on it. You'd have to grab that exact area and then immediately touch yourself to infect yourself.
Unlikely, but possible. So unpack your food, wash your hands in soapy water for 20 seconds, and then eat. While living in lockdown, we've been ordering a lot lately from Satterfield's, probably my favorite barbecue place here in Macon, Georgia, and that's saying a lot.
And I'll get pulled pork. And can I also get a side of the butter beans?
From what I can see, Satterfield's owner Ben Hampton and his team are doing everything right in this crisis, which hit them, by the way, right after they'd completed a lengthy renovation of their dining room.
Now we're back outside due to the current condition that we're in, so we're just kind of out here doing this now, because people still have to eat.
At lunchtime, they're selling food across this outdoor table, trying to keep that 6-foot or 2-meter distance that we're all supposed to keep from each other right now. I'm following the rules too. Notice my 6-foot mic boom. They've also started doing call-in and pickup orders in the afternoon, and in the evening, they're doing deliveries, which is a whole new business for them. It's a business that they've taken on in order to replace the catering business that they have lost, as every single gathering in the entire world has been canceled.
You can't get back a catering for 250 people, but throughout these evening deliveries and the pickups in the afternoon, it's lessening that blow for us and allowing us to at least, be able to stay in business.
We pay over the phone, they drive to our house, and they leave the food on our doorstep. There's no direct contact, and that's pretty good. The remaining risk is fresh droplets on the packaging. We unpack, we wash our hands, we eat, we feel pretty safe. Hey, fast food drive-thru, same basic risks. Plus, it's possible that the virus could pass between you and the cashier, either through the air or on your credit card. This is the perfect time to use your precious hand sanitizer right after you finish the transaction. Certainly, the better practice is to pay online or on the phone whenever possible. So that's pretty much what I can tell you right now. That's what we know. But we all have to keep listening to public health officials as they learn more. We have to not get mad when what they tell us now is different from what they told us before. Let's remember, science is an iterative process. They learn more and more, and they tell us. Like Dr. Diez points out, that study about how long COVID-19 lasts on plastic and such, it's just the beginning of the research that we need.
That's a single study. We cannot base policy and recommendations for the public based on a single study on their ideal conditions. So yes, that's the only data we have, but again, my advice for consumers is if you have the resources, you have access to sanitizing solutions, you have access to antimicrobial wipes, use them.
Now, I'd say that what Dr. Diez said there is on the conservative end of the spectrum that I have heard from various public health experts. But who am I to doubt what he has to say? And frankly, if you're someone who is particularly at risk, if you're immunocompromised, if you're older, you probably should go the conservative route. But finally, I would also urge you to do whatever you can to support your local restaurants, whatever is safe and affordable for you. The restaurant business is really tough in the best of times. Sure, lots of rich people own restaurants, but very, very few people get rich by owning restaurants. People generally do it for the love. Those places operate on the thinnest of margins. Even successful places are always right on the brink of closing. So you can imagine what a disaster this is for them right now. If you love your restaurants, if you want to have any restaurants left in the world after this is all over, please find a way to patronize them in a way that is safe and affordable for you. Like people have been doing here in Macon with Satterfields.
We've had people donating meals to other people around town. Like, hey, I want to sponsor 50 lunches for the sheriff's department or for first responders. And so we've had like 3 people call in this week and give donations. So that support is amazing.
That makes me really happy. And if you have the means, that's the kind of thing that you can do to support your local restaurants, even if you're a high-risk person who's trying to live in a bubble right now. But regardless of your particular situation, just remember, right now, people are most likely far more dangerous than food. Whatever food you can get via the least amount of human contact, that's the safest food for you.